Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something that affects pretty much all of us, but that we rarely think about. How does the government actually make sure the medicine we take is safe? I mean, think about it. You open your medicine cabinet, you take a pill, and you just trust it's going to work. And more importantly, that it's not going to hurt you. But where does that trust actually come from? Who's checking this stuff? Well, it all comes down to the FDA. They have this incredibly detailed system-by-system inspection program. And today, we're going to dive right into their official playbook to see exactly how they make sure the drugs we depend on are up to snuff.
All right, so first things first, let's talk about the why. Why do these inspections even happen? This isn't just about a random spot check. It's a super structured process with a really clear goal.
The entire inspection universe revolves around this one acronym: CGMP. It stands for Current Good Manufacturing Practice. You can basically think of it as the absolute non-negotiable rulebook for making drugs. Everything an inspector does is to check if a factory is playing by these rules.
And here's something interesting. They don't just inspect every place every 2 years on a rigid schedule anymore. Now, they use a much smarter, risk-based model. This lets them focus their time and energy on the places that might be a higher risk, whether they're here in the US or all the way on the other side of the world. It's all about putting resources where they matter most.
So how does an inspection actually work when they get there? Well, think of an FDA inspector like a master mechanic looking at a car. They don't just kick the tires and look under the hood. No, they check every single critical system to make sure the whole thing is running perfectly. And to do that, they've broken down every single drug manufacturing operation into 6 core systems. Just 6. This framework is the key, really. It lets them be super thorough and consistent, no matter how big or small the factory is. And here they are. It all starts with the quality system. That's kind of like the brain of the whole operation, overseeing everything. Then they dig into the physical stuff, the facilities and equipment, the raw materials coming in. After that, it's the production system itself, the packaging and labeling, and, absolutely crucial, the laboratory control system, to make sure all the tests they run are actually accurate. Okay, now what's really interesting is that not all inspections are the same. The FDA is smart about it. They actually change their approach based on how a facility has been doing over time. Most of the time, it's one of 2 types. You've got your full inspection, which is a deep dive. They look at a minimum of 4 systems, and this is usually for new factories or ones that have had problems before. Then there's the abbreviated inspection. This is more of a checkup for places with a good track record, covering at least 2 systems. But, and this is key, notice that both of them always include that critical quality system. And then there's the third type, the for-cause inspection. This one isn't routine at all. This is when the FDA's alarm bells go off. If there's a recall or a bunch of complaints come in about a product, they can launch a laser-focused investigation to figure out exactly what's wrong, and fast.
So, the inspectors have been through the whole place. They've looked at all the documents. What's next? Well, now it's time to hand out the final report card. They issue a classification that basically decides the factory's fate. And that report card has one of 3 grades. The best one is NAI, no action indicated. That's a clean bill of health, an A+. Then there's VAI, voluntary action indicated. This means they found some problems and the company needs to fix them, but the FDA trusts them to do it. And then there's OAI, official action indicated. This one is serious. It means major problems were found and you can be sure the FDA is about to take formal action.
Ultimately, what every inspector is trying to figure out is this: is the facility operating in a state of control? That's the FDA's term for it, and it's really the gold standard. It means all those systems we talked about are working together perfectly to make sure every single batch of medicine is pure, safe, and effective. And here's the most crucial point of all, straight from the FDA's own rulebook. All these systems are linked. It's not about getting a passing grade on average. If even one of those 6 systems is out of control, the entire facility is considered out of control. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link, period. When you think about it, it's a really powerful system designed to protect all of us, which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In today's world, where our medicine comes from all over the globe, this systematic all-or-nothing approach is probably more important than ever to make sure what's in our cabinet is truly safe.